I'm fairly confident there was a story recently about France signing some sort of bilateral arrangement stroke agreement with India that involved rather more money, but I can't currently find it. Just for the record, I could be wrong, and I'll correct it if I am. There's absolutely nothing in the new arrangements with India that have been brought about as a direct result of Brexit. But there's absolutely nothing I can do, and this is something that Keir Starmer is likely to be taught in very stark terms later this week. There's nothing you can do yet with people who are still insisting that Brexit was some sort of win. They can't point to any victories, which is why the government will be now attempting to, well, look, the entire project's built on a lie, so a few more lies aren't going to change anything, are they? So they will now attempt to say, look, here's a win. So the vaccines are a big lie, of course. Our vaccine procurement regime was undertaken while we were entirely under European Union auspices. You can make an argument about whether or not we would have gone it alone had we not got the Brexit at the end of the tunnel come January the 1st this year, and it's actually quite a nuanced and complex argument. I probably would lean to the idea that we may not have done, but we could have done. So the idea that we needed to be out of the European Union in order to pull off the vaccines is simply not true. And according to the latest figures, we're only now about a month ahead of Germany. So again, it doesn't matter though, does it? Because I'm just telling you the truth. But if you don't want to hear it, you don't want to hear it. Keir Starmer's big problem now is, of course, either he accepts that every vote in this country for the foreseeable future is going to involve some form of relitigation of Brexit because the Prime Minister is the embodiment of it, or he continues to sort of completely ignore it. And given that I think it's going to be generations before the full reality of it is acknowledged of it by the massive majority of the population, I think, and I wouldn't fancy the job myself, I've got to be honest with you, but I think he's got to relitigate it. I think he's going to have to, at some point, start talking about what's happened to the fishermen, what's happened to the dairy sector, why did we run out of paracetamol? Partly, of course, because the Secretary of State for International Trade didn't realise essentially what international trade was. But hey-ho, that doesn't butter any parsnips, does it? So what's he going to do? He's going to have to start speaking up for the people who are losing their jobs or seeing their livelihoods imperiled, or, of course, dealing with all of the extra red tape that has been brought about by a vote which was explicitly described as a vote for less red tape. That's my view, anyway. But as I say, it's a lonely furrow that he's ploughing. One thing I would say in his defence is that I heard him interviewed this morning, and I heard him interviewed in 2 or 3 different places, and in every single one of them, he said any failures, any problems, any electoral disasters that he presides over will be entirely his responsibility. It's a mark of how far and how fast we've fallen, isn't it? That is actually impressive from a politician. If things go wrong, it will be entirely my responsibility, which will come as a great relief to anybody who routinely gets the blame for epic failures of previous holders of that position. It is his and his alone. If, for example, he were to secure the worst general election result since 1935, it would be his fault. It would be his responsibility, not the responsibility of people who warned it was going to happen. But hey-ho.